The host of The Tonight Show, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Yeah. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Mike.
And the greatest driver.
Joseph.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Mike.
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. Okay, folks, here are the safety rules. First, if you need any guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or you have any sound or video issues, reach up, grab the red emergency cord, runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. I will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and at any time during the tour, you drop your phone or you just cannot wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, and many water effects, so you may get wet. There are also sudden tram movements during the tour, so secure your personal belongings and hold on. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. That's it for the safety rules. All right, here we go. Headed to the front lot via Universal's movie timeline. These posters on the right represent a few of the thousands of movies we've entertained you with. Also on the right, Fire Station 51. We salute the firefighters and the first responders. We so appreciate what they do on a daily basis. Station 51 is named in honor of the popular NBC TV show Emergency. Now this show aired way back in the 1970s. The very first soundstage you're going to see is coming up on the left. Soundstage 12, the birthplace of the Universal Monsters. But a little more recently, Stage 12, where Taylor Swift filmed the music video to her song Me. And on your screen, some of the movies which have also filmed inside Stage 12. Now we always start out with an empty sound stage, and then when the production moves in, we build whatever sets are needed for that project. That's pre-production, get everything ready, production, you film, post-production, put the project together. Here on the left is that row of sound stages we're going to go by, 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. Look to your left, the elephant door to stage 11 is cracked open, you peek in there. We also see the elephant door to stage 9 open, so you can also peek in there. We call the doors elephant doors because when they're open wide, they're big enough to move an elephant inside or outside the sound stage. If you need an elephant for your production, some of the shows that are filmed in these stages on the left, Hacks with Gene Smart, which streams on Max, Ted, the Peacock streaming series, and the last two sound stages in the row on the left, sound stages 8 and 7. 8 and 7, along with stage 14, which you're also going to see on your left, but after we complete our turn, are being used for another Peacock streaming series, Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks, Ali Sholaton, and Coco Jones. Bel Air is coming back for a fourth and final season. They've already started their pre-production. Looking on the left, by stage 14, you see some of these production vehicles. Now, these open areas that you're seeing on the left, you're going to see those around the sound stages on the front lot and around the sets on the back lot. These open areas are for the production base camp. Every production has a base camp. Now, when they're in production filming, you're going to see many more production vehicles at the base camp. Trucks would hold lighting equipment, sound equipment, props. Trailers could be dressing rooms. wardrobe trailers, makeup trailers. Sometimes at a base camp you have a big tented area with tables and chairs. That would be for craft services, providing meals for the cast and crew when they take a break. More front lot sound stages, this time on the right. On the right will be next to sound stages 16, 17, 18, 19. Currently, stages 16 and 17 on the right, used for the third season of the Apple Plus series Loop, starring Maya Rudolph. Coming up on the right, stage 19. That's a stage we used to film a scene from our Academy Award-winning Best Picture of the Year, Oppenheimer. Now the scene is toward the latter part of the film, the Oval Office scene, where Gary Oldman plays President Harry Truman, and Best Actor of the Year, Cillian Murphy, is Oppenheimer. On the left, this is the base camp for Loop. We always try to keep the base camp close to where the production is going to be filming. Sam, looking up ahead on the left, look who's standing by car 1, left side. Ted. He's excited because we know he also has his own show on Peacock. Ted. Notice on the left behind Ted, production bungalows. In these bungalows, some of Hollywood's top writers, directors, producers come up with an idea for a script. That would be in the pre-production phase. Some of the production companies in the bungalows on the left include Mark Platt Productions, who brought Wicked Part 1 to movie theaters. Second part of that story, Wicked for Good, set to be in theaters later this year, November 21st. Now we do have a very famous bungalow coming up on the left-hand side. Bungalow 5195, many years ago, used by the great director Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense. He directed classic movies. His masterpiece has always been considered the film Psycho. Okay, coming up on the left, bungalow 5195, left side, 5195. That was Alfred Hitchcock's old bungalow. Now the De Laurentiis company uses that bungalow. Now the last two sound stages on the front lot, also coming up on the left, but they're in the back of this complex. Left side in the back, stage 25, used for NBC's Lopez versus Lopez. In the back of this complex, on the right, stage 26, where St. Denis Medical, the NBC comedy film. Folks, get ready. We're about ready to cross an imaginary line from the front lot to the back lot. Look up ahead on the left. The Metropolitan sets. These buildings are facades, front and side of the building. Nothing inside or on the back, a facade. As we pull onto the back lot, look to your left, you're looking down the west end of New York Street. Recently, our new NBC show Suits LA with Stephen Amell filmed part of an episode on that west end of New York Street. New York Street's the street we've used for NBC's American Ninja Warrior also. Now, you'll see more open areas around the Metro sets. These are great for the base camp. We are going to be able to take you a little bit into the Metro set area, but there's a couple areas we can't get into because of special events. One of them, Courthouse Square, made famous in Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox. We can't get in there because of Universal's Fan Fest nights. It started Friday, so for selected nights through May 18th, celebrate the best of sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime at the all-new Universal Fan Fest nights. Experience your favorite franchises every event night, all in one place. To find out more and to purchase tickets, visit UniversalStudiosHollywood.com. I'm going to point out where Courthouse Square is. On your right, look between this first set of buildings. You see that yellow cone? Look all the way back. That's Courthouse Square back there. They're using for Fan Fest. Now, directly on the right, we have London Square. We call it that because these buildings could easily be a parliamentary structure for a scene in a movie or a TV show. On the other side of London Square, we have part of that long New York Street. Speaking of New York, I'm bringing back my co-host, Jimmy Fallon. He knows a lot about New York.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
Yeah.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here! It's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Thank you, Jimmy. You know, we always keep the sets plain looking on the backlot. Then when the production moves in, we make the sets look like any city, any country, any time period that is needed for the project. Well, on the right, there's the west end of New York Street again. You know, New York plays a big role in the story of King Kong. That's where the story begins. New York City, 1930s. We are now headed up to King Kong 360 3D. Here's the Academy Award-winning director of Universal's 2005 film version of King Kong, Mr. Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to do the movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in the future. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times.
Okay, adventure awaits us, so please remain seated and hold on. Now let's head back to Skull Island. Ladies and gentlemen, King Kong 360 3D. This epic battle was projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall, 180 feet long, and it utilizes some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. If you have not yet taken off the glasses, please take them off now. Put them aside. We'll have you drop them in the bins at the end of the tour when we get to unload. Thank you so much for doing that. Boy, we saw a lot of dinosaurs in King Kong 360 3D. We love dinosaurs here at Universal Studios. Well, I'm very happy to report the new era of our Jurassic franchise set to begin this July 2nd, when in movie theaters we open Jurassic World Rebirth, starring Scarlett Johansson, Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey, who said Wicked. It all started with that very first Jurassic film, Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. Mr. Spielberg began his career right here at Universal Studios. You know who else got started here? The monsters.
Thou shalt rise again.
This is the creation of our monster mural by artist Tristan Eaton, honoring the great horror characters of Universal. Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Frankenstein monster, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Wolfman. This completed mural is coming up on the right side. Tristan Eaton used 54 different colors and over 800 cans of spray paint to create the magnificent monster mural.
That is so
On the left, more base camp location, and also left side on the other side of the white tent, soundstage 34. On the other side of 34, soundstages 30, 31, 32, and 33. Reba McEntire's NBC show, Happy's Place, shoots out of 32 and 33. What about 30 and 31? Currently used by NBC's The Voice.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up, Studio Tour? It's Kelsey Ballerini.
And I am John Legend from The Voice. Now we shoot our show right here at Stage 31, one of the newest stages on the lot.
These state-of-the-art sound stages allow us to bring our show to life, from the blinds to the lives and everything in between.
That's how it's going to be.
Now tomorrow they start the playoff rounds. Did you notice also on the left that body of water? You see it through the trees there. We call that area the Hollywood Ocean. Hollywood Ocean could be a lake for a production, could be a river. It could even be an ocean if you use miniature vessels. The Hollywood Ocean also became a lagoon for our classic 1954 3D film starring Julie Adams. Creature from the Black Lagoon. A lady named Millicent Patrick created the look for the creature, which you see up on the screen. Creature is part of our legacy of great horror films and monster movies. This legacy began many, many years ago, back in the silent days of movie making. And these horror films all shot right here in our historic Little Europe, which we're now entering. 1923's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1925's The Phantom of the Opera. Both of these classic silent horror films star the legendary Lon Chaney. We did stretch our love for the horror films and the monster movies into the sound barrel. Two early sound films. They both opened way back in 1931. Really helped put Universal Studios on the map. And those two movies are Dracula with Bela Lugosi and Frankenstein starring Boris Karloff. A little more recently, Little Europe became the afterlife for the NBC comedy The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
Eleanor Shellstrom on death. Come on, this location, the afterlife. Come on, I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Little Europe's been here a long time, since about 1914. Okay, as we make our turn, look over on the left. You're gonna see right next to Little Europe, a modern day house. Practical set, built so you film indoors, outdoors. This house, well, it's only been here about 17 years. The house sits on Denver Street, one of the oldest sections on the Backlot. We used to film westerns on Denver Street, but as you see, Denver Street's been remodeled. And we're about halfway through the tour. How about that? Just going to remind everyone, please remain seated during the entire tour. Our studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you just cannot wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention. I will be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. But do remain seated. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, as we have turned a little more, look on the left to get a better view of the front of the house. Do you recognize the house? That was the house used in the State Farm commercial with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where Arnold is a good neighbor. The Peacock streaming series Bel Air often uses the house for filming. I suspect they'll be using it again for their 4th and final season. Did you notice the open area in front of the house? Perfect for a base camp, especially if you're going to use the house for filming or even filming in Little Europe. Now, we do try to use every available inch on the studio lot for projects. This location gives you a great example. Little Europe's here, the Denver Street House, but we also have Soundstage 50 here, the only 2-level soundstage in all of Hollywood. All right, folks, as we enter Soundstage 50, remain seated and hold on. So being 2 levels, once we're inside, above us is an urban street scene set. This lower level set is a Northern California subway station set. This set is also known as a hot set. Fully dressed, ready for filming. To begin production filming, the director says, "Places please, quiet on the set. Rolling, you're rolling the film in the camera, and action." And filming begins. Once again, everybody, hold on. Scene we just took part in have been used extensively in many of disaster movies. This animation inspired by the 1974 Universal film Earthquake, starring Charlton Heston. Now, as we exit Soundstage 50, we welcome you to the Wild West. Over here on the right side, we have 6 points. After we turn on the left, the other end of Denver Street, where we filmed these westerns. Oh, they are fighting in the west. We're going to head out east. Hopefully a little more peaceful there. We're going to Amity Island, small New England town terrorized by that shark in one of our biggest hits ever, Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Remember to please stay seated and welcome to our Amity Island. Over on the right, we caught a shark. That makes a great photograph. Notice how peaceful it... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I see a shark in the water. Did you catch that? They just told the diver to get out of the water. There he is. Officer George, get out of the water. Shark going under. Headed right to you. Look out. Look out. Too late. Poor Officer George. Okay, we're in the area, and we're going to stay on the upper dock. This is safer for us. Look at that lower dock, smoking. The other lower dock's moving. The gas hose is loose. If there are sparks, there could be a fire. The movie Jaws filmed on location on the eastern part of the United States, near the Martha's Vineyard area. This year, the 50th anniversary of when the movie Jaws first opened in theaters. Now look around this area. Do you recognize Cabot Cove, Maine? From the late great Angela Lansbury's hit CBS show, Murder, She Wrote, had a very successful 12-year run as a series on television. Time for us to leave the East Coast. We got to get you to Old Mexico. As we turn, look to the left. Notice how the terrain changes. It becomes more of a desert region with the cacti. Old Mexico is, without a doubt, the most quiet location of them all on the Backlot. Right here is where Lady Gaga filmed the music video to her song Judas. And why don't we just stop for a few moments to enjoy the quiet? So much for quiet. Do you hear that thunder? I see lightning flashing also. Folks, we got a big storm rolling in. I think the storm's getting closer. The thunder's getting louder. Oh, there's the rain. Now the storm's sitting right on top of us. As I'm watching the rain come down, looking to me as if the rain is getting much, much heavier. Not a good sign at all. Oh, that was a very big thunder boomer. Say, now I hear, it's kind of a rumbling sound. Very dim. Anyone else hear it? Sounds like it's getting closer. What is that sound? Our flash flood. Left side, flash flood. Take cover. Look out. Our flood is the result of thousands of gallons of recycled water being released from tanks. Way up on top of that hill, water makes its way down the hill and then makes its way right back up again. We're getting swept out of this section of Old Mexico. Oh, but we're being swept into another section of Old Mexico, which you might recognize. This section is where the music video for Camila Cabello's song, My Oh My film. You also might recognize the location from the Paramount film, Nacho Libre, starring Jack Black. Last year in movie theaters from A24, the movie Maxine, starring Mia Goth. That movie filmed all over our Backlot. This is one of the locations used for Maxine. Now we're getting swept out of Old Mexico into the heart of the Old West. Welcome to 6 Points. The majority of the buildings are facades, front side of the building, nothing inside or on the back. The saloon on the left and the opera house are practical sets, built so you film indoors, outdoors. Just a couple days ago, Access Hollywood, the entertainment show, was filming a segment here. And right where our tram is, Steven Spielberg filmed scenes for his classic Warner Brothers film, The Color Purple, starring Whoopi Goldberg. This location got its name back in the silent days of movie making. Back then, we had 6 different streets that converged into one central area. So back then, we could film 6 different movies at the same time. They were all silent movies. We were not recording the sound. More movies have filmed here in Six Points than anywhere else in the world, especially if you count all the silent movies that filmed here. Well, as we ride out of Six Points, we're not quite through with Six Points just yet. After this next turn, we're gonna show you Six Points from a different angle on the right. Also on the right, check out some of the great Western props that have been used in the Western area. Wagons, wagon wheels, barrels, crates, props, anything on this set that an actor would touch or hold. We are kind of on a roll. We're going to give you another look at Amity Island coming up on the right, a bird's eye view. Steven Spielberg was instrumental in helping us get the Jaws attraction for our studio tour.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1970.
Thank you, Mr. Spielberg. Folks, I want to point out, coming up on the left, the entrance to Colonial Street, where the Peacock series, The Burbs with Keke Palmer, has been filming their first season. The Tom Hanks film, The Burbs, shot on Colonial Street. You see shot from that movie up on the screens. For 8 seasons, Colonial Street became Wisteria Lane for the ABC Touchstone television series Desperate Housewives. Now, back to The Burbs. Look on the left, you see some vehicles. Picture cars, any vehicle used in production. These are used by The Burbs. We are currently on Steven Spielberg Drive. We have a long relationship with this Academy Award-winning director, going all the way back to the earliest days of our studio tour.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Green Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day.
Thank you again, Mr. Spielberg. Get your cameras out, folks. Coming up on both sides of the tram cars, more great picture cars. Remember, the vehicles are on both sides. First vehicle on the left, the original Glamour Tram. This is what our studio tour vehicle looked like when the tour originated back on July 15, 1964. At the other end of the road on the left, you'll see some great Fast and the Furious film franchise picture cars. Do not forget the right side, though. Icy Fries, Electronics Van, from Jordan Peele's movie Nope, starring Academy Award winner Daniel Kaluuya, Emmy winner Keke Palmer. Oh, there's a beautiful Duesenberg from The Mummy Returns, starring Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser. And around the corner, our scale replica of LA's most iconic landmark, the Hollywood sign. A classic film from Hollywood shot right here at Universal Studios. And in this location, the film Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Over on the right, 2 of the most iconic sets ever created, the Bates Motel and Norman Bates' house from the Alfred Hitchcock thriller. Look at that car. That car belongs to Marion Crane. Now the trunk is open. Look who's coming out of cabin 1. That's Norman Bates. What is Norman up to? He's looking kind of agitated. Oh, he's checking out the trunk. Now going back to cabin 1, I bet Marion Crane's checking out of the Bates Motel. Norman, it's gonna be very nice. Bring out the luggage, put it in the trunk of the car. Here he comes. That's not luggage. He's carrying Marion Crane. Yes, she's checked out all right. Okay, let's quietly get out of here before Norman would have a chance at all to see us. Too late.
Yeah, you see? Oh.
Oh, that was a close one. The movie Psycho caused a sensation when it opened in theaters back in 1960, starring Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates and Janet Leigh as Marion Crane. Around the corner, one of the most spectacular sets ever created, the airplane crash site set from Steven Spielberg's blockbuster Paramount film War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of Steve. Means that you sit down and talk about War of the World. That thought was the 747 right? Because it's just something you don't see.
Large-scale sets like this have been on this part of our studio tour for several decades. Prior to War of the Worlds, for example, this is where you would have found Site B for Jurassic Park 3. On your left, that airplane, that's a real airplane, but it was an old airplane. It was not going to be flying anymore. It was purchased for approximately $60,000 from an airport in Mojave, California, and then flatbed trucks transported the airplane to our backlot for the filming. Recently, Ariana Grande released a short film entitled Brighter Days Ahead. That short film did some filming up here at the crash site set. They also used some of our Little Europe area for the project. Well, folks, we're about 15 minutes from the end of the tour, and we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need assistance and remain seated at all times. From this crash site set, we head to another set, Jupiter's Claim, a set used in Jordan Peele's movie, Nope. Now in Nope, Jupiter's Claim is over, a UFO hotspot. We were thrilled to partner up with the gentleman who wrote and directed Nope. He is an Academy Award winner, Mr. Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Share. This whole thing is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold-rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot.
Well, that's our cue to get out. So far, we've taken you all over Universal, showing you locations that are great for filming. I want to point out one more great filming location. This whole area up here is called Falls Lake. Now, if you look up ahead on the right, you'll see a big blue backdrop, one of the largest freestanding backdrops in all of Hollywood. When there are no vehicles below the backdrop, we can fill that area in with water. That's how we get the lake for Falls Lake. It takes 3 days to fill the lake in, and the lake holds 2.7 million gallons of water. Harry Styles filmed part of the music video for his song Falling, here by the blue backdrop at Falls Lake. On your screen, some of the movies which also use the area. You recognize Marion Crane's car from Psycho. This is where Norman stashed his victims. Now, if in your scene you needed clouds, you paint them onto the blue backdrop. And the blue backdrop can also be used as a blue screen, or you might have heard the term green screen, same thing. We'll give you an example. It's from the movie Sully, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Mr. Tom Hanks. Okay, look up on your screens. This shot filmed at Falls Lake. So when they filmed, they only filmed the plane in the water with the passengers on the wings. Behind the plane was just the blue backdrop. Then in post-production, using computer-generated imagery, you added the background. So it looks as if you are on the Hudson River in New York City. Well, we have the pleasure of touring an Academy Award-winning studio. So far, Universal has won 11 Academy Awards for Best Picture of the Year. And the studio tour is very important because it's where it all began for Universal destinations and experiences. Don't forget, opening here next year, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster, gonna be awesome. But right now our journey is coming to an end, and for over 100 years, Universal Studios has been thrilling audiences around the globe, making them laugh and cry, sit on the edge of their seats. We thank each and every one of you for taking the tour. To our past members, thank you for being with us. Not a past member, head up to Universal Box Office, find out how to upgrade today's ticket to an annual pass. Make sure you've downloaded the Universal Studios Hollywood app. You can confirm park hours. We're open till 6 p.m. And if you'd like to purchase any of the movies and TV shows you saw on the tour, visit the website www.uphe.com, or today ask at any of the retail stores. This is a great time to give our driver Joseph a big round of applause. He did a great job. Thank you, Joseph. And on behalf of myself, Mike, your guide, our driver Joseph, all of us here at Universal Studios Hollywood, we hope you've enjoyed this exclusive behind-the-scenes experience. As we say here in Hollywood, that is a wrap. Watch arms, legs, fingers, toes as the gates open. Watch your step. Drop the glasses.